The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 ouch, Boaz, unique users. I'm your host, Gary Baumgarten. Wow, that hurt. What did I say? Did I say it all? No, we're online. Oh, Boaz, that's horrible. We're online on demand on YouTube and on iTunes. And somebody.Boaz, we're syndicated, at least we were until a second ago, by CRN Digital Talk Radio to cable systems serving an additional 12 million households. I can hear the remotes going click, click, click right now in the middle of the show due to the noise that is emanating from Mr. Boaz's microphone. What was that? Hey, we got a very jam-packed, full show today with a lot of interesting things in the news. By the way, my cam froze. Well, I can't help you with that right now, Officer Combs. There's still time to vote at GaryBaumgarten.com. There you go. The poll today is about the shootings at Northern Illinois University and whether students on college campuses should be permitted to carry guns to protect themselves. You got about 59 minutes, 58 minutes to vote. So go there now, GaryBaumgarten.com, and vote. We'll be tallying it at about 6 o'clock Eastern Time. And that's when the voting ends. Vote early and vote often, as they say in Chicago, especially if you're dead. Well, I want to talk first about this beef recall. You know, even before they announced the beef recall over the weekend, my son and I went to a Wendy's where I ordered a fish sandwich, which, you know, is smothered in tartar sauce. Probably not particularly good for you anyway, but much better than anything else on their menu, except maybe for their baked potato, but they were out of baked potatoes. And he ordered a Baconator. Now, it's interesting because the Baconator, you know, that's a play on the term Terminator. And the Terminator terminates life. Well, the Baconator, I guarantee it terminates life. It's like 3 patties and bacon and cheese and oh my God, I could just see with my x-ray vision his arteries getting clogged right in front of me. I said to my son, Daniel, what the hell do you think you're doing? He says, you know, every once in a while you have to eat junk food, Dad. Let me tell you, you look at the video of how they're killing this cattle for the food that we eat, and you're going to turn into a vegetarian. So basically what happened was the Humane Society of the United States, in its quest not to protect you and me, the humanoids, but to protect the cattle, obtained or shot a surveillance video surreptitiously taken of this slaughterhouse out in California, where the sick cows that were so sick that they could not stand were being lifted with a forklift while still alive and dumped into the slaughter. Well, besides the fact that these are very disturbing images and thoughts when it comes to treating the cattle, and one could say, well, it's only livestock, and they're going to die in a couple of minutes anyway, so what's the difference? What about the fact that this cattle is so sick that it can't stand, and they're putting it into the food chain, and a veterinarian is not checking that cattle before it's slaughtered, as under USDA regulations they're supposed to do. And what's worse, perhaps, is the fact, where was this cattle, this beef, frozen beef, destined? To school systems all across the United States of America. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Cattle that's too sick to stand on its own is being slaughtered, processed, frozen, and shipped off for little Jimmy and Janie to eat. No wonder our kids are sick. No wonder people are dropping like flies from heart attacks, pancreatic cancers, colon cancers, etc., etc., etc. It's ridiculous. Well, thank goodness that in their quest to protect the cattle, the Humane Society published this video that resulted in the USDA doing its job for a change and ordering this recall. But it would make me wonder whether or not I ought to be eating beef ever again in my life. It says Dwayne in Cincinnati. Is that right? Or did we not update the database? Dwayne in Cincinnati. Welcome to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
Got it right this time. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Could you speak up just a little bit, though? Dwayne. Earth to Dwayne. Jim in Michigan. Jim, welcome to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
Well, I don't think you're going to have to ask me to speak up because my wife usually asks me to shut up. But I will say that you've opened up a real good Pandora's box. First of all, not only was it sad that they showed the video of breaking the law by taking diseased cows and just forklifting them up, that's bad. But they announced on the news, which is even worse, that it's been consumed already, much of what has been done for months like that way in the same fashion, and people have eaten it. Yet they mentioned that at this time there has been no bad report from people eating that meat. Now I think here in Michigan we've got 10 tons of it that they're going to put to waste rather than take a chance, which I think is wise.
Well, I'll tell you something, Jim. First of all, we don't know who's gotten sick from it and who hasn't. Somebody might have the stomach flu, and it's because of this beef that they've eaten. And secondly, this is not the kind of thing that you would expect to happen here in the United States of America. Now, we've had experts on here before who have talked about the slaughterhouses and how the beef that we eat is not really properly inspected anyway. I knew a guy who was training to become a veterinarian in Mexico, and as a result of his education, which I believe there is free, there is compulsory service to the community to pay off the cost of the education. And so he was assigned as a meat inspector in Guadalajara, and he red tagged some beef that was there for slaughter as unsafe because he inspected as a veterinarian, and he found that the beef was unsafe for, had been diseased. And they tried to bribe him, which is, you know, kind of a national pastime in Mexico, and he refused to accept the bribe, so they tried to kill him, get him out of the way. And, you know, okay, we